Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Newsbrowse News Broadcast. 联合早报 reports that the U.S. employment market demonstrated unexpected strength in March, adding a robust 178,000 non-farm jobs. This marks the largest monthly increase in 15 months and represents the best single-month performance since President Trump's second term commenced in January of the previous year. The overall unemployment rate also saw a slight decline of 0.1 percentage point, settling at 4.3%. President Trump promptly celebrated these figures on social media, with a White House spokesperson expressing confidence in an accelerating economic revival once the short-term impacts of the Epic Fury operation dissipate. However, economists are sounding alarms, cautioning that escalating Middle East conflicts and surging energy prices are threatening global supply chains and posing a significant risk of a worldwide economic downturn. Nancy Vanden Houten from Oxford Economics suggested that the March data might overstate the true momentum of job growth, attributing some gains to the end of strikes, seasonal factors, and post-winter recovery. She predicts a rise in unemployment as war-related spillover effects begin to impact the labor market. Olu Sonola of Fitch Ratings highlighted a recurring pattern of alternating positive and negative employment growth since May 2025, which she believes could be linked to tariff uncertainties. She concluded that given the added volatility from the Iran war, the Federal Reserve's most prudent course of action at this juncture is to adopt a wait-and-see approach. 联合早报 reports that Emirates Global Aluminium, EGA, the largest aluminum producer in the Middle East, announced that its Al Tawila smelter in Abu Dhabi could take up to a year to resume full production. This follows significant damage sustained during a recent Iranian attack. The company, on Friday, April 3rd, stated that an initial assessment of the damage has been completed, and it is in contact with customers whose shipments might be affected. The Middle East accounts for approximately 9% of global aluminum output. With existing production constraints in other regions affecting inventory levels, the impact of the conflict has exacerbated supply concerns, leaving little buffer for the market. Aluminum prices on the London Metal Exchange have already risen by over 10% since the outbreak of the Iran conflict. According to a report by Thai Sounds, based on Japanese media Friday, April 3, reporting the Japanese government is planning a scheme to relax its equipment export regulations, opening the door for the export of lethal weapons. Crucially, the plan adopts a post-fact notification approach for parliamentary oversight, meaning the Diet would be informed after export decisions are made. Under current guidelines, Japan's equipment exports are strictly limited to 5 categories of non-combat gear: rescue, transport, warning, surveillance, and mine clearance. The proposed revisions, which the government intends to present to the Liberal Democratic Party's Security Research Council on April 6, would significantly broaden this scope. While non-weapons would have no export restrictions, weapons like missiles would be limited to countries with existing defense equipment and technology transfer agreements with Japan. Exports to parties in conflict would generally be prohibited, though exceptions could be granted for special circumstances related to national security, following a review by the National Security Council, NSC. This move has already sparked public concern. A nationwide poll conducted by Mainichi Shimbun between March 28 and 29 revealed that a significant 49% of Japanese citizens oppose the government's plan to relax lethal weapons export rules, with only 26% expressing support and 24% unsure. Opposition parties are expected to strongly criticize the post-fact notification method, citing potential risks of escalating international conflicts. Mount Dukono in North Halmahera, North Maluku, Indonesia, erupted on Saturday, April 4, 2026, sending an ash column rising 1,400 meters, 1.4 kilometers above its crater. The eruption, which occurred around 11:08 a.m. local time, produced a thick gray ash plume that drifted southwest, according to Dukono Volcano Observation Post Officer Bambang Suziono. Seismograph readings confirmed the event with a maximum amplitude of 27 millimeters and a duration of about 55.07 seconds, indicating continued high volcanic activity. The volcano currently remains at level 2, or alert, status. Officials from the Volcanology and Geological Hazard Mitigation Agency have advised residents and tourists to avoid all activities within a 4-kilometer radius of the Malupang Warang crater, warning that ash distribution can change unpredictably with wind direction and speed. Furthermore, they cautioned against the serious respiratory health threats posed by ash exposure and recommended wearing masks or covering noses and mouths in affected areas. Monitoring of Mount Dukono's activity is ongoing to ensure public safety. This report is from Antara. NPR reports that the rapid expansion of legal sports betting across the United States is increasingly linked to significant financial strain for many Americans. A new report from the New York Federal Reserve indicates that in states where sports betting is legal, credit delinquency rates have risen by approximately 0.3% overall. For individuals who began sports betting after legalization, this figure jumps to over 10%, primarily due to missed payments on credit cards and auto loans. The American Gaming Association projects $3.3 billion will be legally wagered on this year's March Madness alone, a more than 50% increase in 3 years. This boom is fueled by convenient mobile betting apps and aggressive marketing. Research from the UCLA Anderson School of Management further reveals a 10% increase in bankruptcy likelihood and an 8% rise in debt collection amounts in states allowing online betting, with young people particularly vulnerable to addiction risks. Experts warn that states, while cashing in on taxes, face a potential conflict of interest regarding their residents' financial well-being. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.